Right guys, so now we have looked at, we've had a warm-up and we've looked at our learning intention. Let's look at some questions so we can go through them step by step and explain what's going on. So here we have three different questions where we're looking at the amounts and seeing that they are not equal on both sides. Okay, so it's very much the same as when we were looking at the difference, because if we're looking for the difference, then we're almost sort of, what would we need to make the same amount? So if we looked at this side, very much like finding the difference, because we can look at both sides and think, right, we've both got £1 coins, we've both got 10p's, look what's missing, 2p's. So now it's correct. Let's have a look at the next one. So now we have a £10 and a £5. 10 at 5 is 15. We have on the other side, we have a £5 note and three £1. 5 at 3 is 8. So we need to get from 8 to 15. Now if you remember, when we're adding, we can make 10 and then add the rest. So if we have 8 and we added 2, we could make £10. So then once we've got 10, we need to make 15. 10 at 5 equals 15. So then we've got the 2 that we've added to make 10. 2 at 5 is 15. Okay. So then we've got the £2 and we've got the extra 5. Looking over here, the next question, we have 50p, 20p, 5p. Then we have 10p, 10p, 10p and 50. So this time we have 75. 50 add 10, 20, 30. 50 add 30 equals 80. So all we need to do is add 5 to make 75. So here we have 20p. Now we've got the part whole model. If we want to use 2 coins to make 20p, normally when we use the part whole model, we normally split it into tens and ones. But because we want to use 2 different coins, we need to think, right, what 2 coins can we use to make 20p? So we've got all the coins available here. Now we're not going to use the coins, the pound coins, because that's more than 20. 50, exactly the same. If we use 20, then obviously if we put 20p down in this part, then we're not going to have anything here. What about 10p? Well, if I make 10p and 10p, remember part plus part equals whole, 10 plus 10 equals 20. Okay, so we've used 2 10p coins. Now we have 3 parts, so you need to think about, right, in the last question we split it into 2. We had 2 10p coins. Okay, so we can use a 10p again. Now if we use another 10p to make 2, then we'd have nothing in here. So can we use some coins? Can we split 10 into 2 parts? Now if you know your number bonds to 10, you should know that 5 add 5 equals 10. So we've made the same amount, we've made 20p, but with 3 coins instead of 2. If we wanted to check this answer, you could just add these coins together, because part plus part plus part equals whole. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 add 5 is 20. So we know that we've got the right answer. So next we have the 50p. I've got 50p here. And we need to split it into 3 parts. Now, again, we're not going to use the £2 and the £1 because they are larger than 50p, so we can't, that isn't part of it. Can't really use the 50p either because if we put the 50p as a part, then we'd have nothing in here. So let's think about 20p. How many 20p's could we use? What else could we use to solve this? So let's say we use 20p. Okay. So we're at 20p. Now, what about if we added another 20p? 20 and 20. Now, if you think 20 is difficult, just think about the number 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 20 is 10 times bigger than 2, so 4 times 10 is 40. So we're at 40p now here. Now to get from 40 to 50, we should know that we just count a 10. So we've got a 20p, a 20p and a 10p. Again, if we want to check that answer, we could add them together. 20 at 20 is 40, 20 at 10 is 50. When you're solving these, you need to look at the value and think, actually, am I really going to be using 2p's and 1p's? Because that's quite a big number. And if we've only got 3 parts, I can't really use these coins. Maybe I might not even be able to use the 5p because it's still quite small. We can't use the £2 and £1 because they're larger than the value. 50p, I'm going to have spaces because I've already made the 50p. Okay, so when you start to work out these answers, you need to look and think, right, which coins am I probably not going to use? Which ones do you think? Which ones do I think I will use? Obviously, it doesn't always have to be with regards to coins. If we looked at notes, we've got £20 here. I'm not going to use the £20, am I? Because that would mean that I wouldn't have any parts left. So if I split it into 2, 10 at 10 equals 20. What about if I split it again? I could split one of the 10s. 5 at 5 is 10. 10 at 10 equals 20. Split it into 3. What about if I split this £10 again and use a £5 note? I could split it into 4. Look, 5 at 5 is 10. Add 5 is 15. Add 5 is 20. Just counting in 5s. Think about if you're just using £5 notes, you can just see it as counting in 5s. If you're using £10 note, you can count in 10s. 20 is difficult, but all you have to do is think about, right, think of the 2 if you're counting in 2s, and then just times that number by 10. Because 20 is 10 times bigger than the number 2.